let's begin with the Epstein list. Um, the article we're going to discuss today is coming from a Vox article titled "The Article the Epstein List Explained." And yeah, so things about the Epstein list, right? So the Epstein list refers to unsealed court documents related to a 2015 defamation case against Ghislane Maxwell, Epstein's co-conspirator. So if people don't know who Ghislane Maxwell is Epstein's girlfriend. She was the one that was pretty much his ride or die in this whole situation of the human trafficking and all the alleged things that he was alleged of doing. Um, she was the one in charge of a lot of things, and she's incarcerated now for other things as well. So these documents mention around 150 individuals associated with Epstein, including famously Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, and others. Okay, the documents provide a detailed look at Epstein's circles, allegations of sexual misconduct, and the recruitment of girls for abuse. So let's just touch right here. So, bro, how you feel about Bill Clinton being named, and also Prince Andrew and Donald Trump? How do you feel about that?
Prince Andrew wasn't surprising. I'm like, truth be told, like I want to say I'm taken aback, but in all honesty, like none of it surprised me. Bill Clinton is like, you know, known for what he is known for, obviously being the president of the United States or former president of the United States. But Bill Clinton doesn't come without his indiscretions, obviously. You know what I mean? Whether they be known or unknown at this point. So like that doesn't really throw me off. Like I said, but it is at the same time still shocking when you look at the article and what was said about Bill. I think they mentioned something about somebody said he had a preference for young girls.
Yep.
So it was like it's a little bit like head spinning because it's like in the one aspect, like I said, it doesn't really surprise me just based off previous indiscretions or just period, knowing that powerful people mingle with powerful people and a lot of people got a lot of skeletons in their closet and at some point or another is bound to come out. But that being said, as a former president, and I wish I could have got more into the timeline of when he was actually supposedly around, because that in itself is like, what were you a sitting president hanging with this dude? What was your position at that point to where you were spending time with a known predator, or what was at least established, or maybe not publicly established, but kind of widely known around what he was getting into. So it's just like, it's a shame. It's a shame to see. A lot of the other people, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, excuse me. Prince Andrew wasn't a surprise. Donald Trump, I don't think was too much of a surprise because I think it had been a little bit of speculation that they may have had a relationship. So it didn't take me aback too much. But at the same time, to see powerful people be intertwined in this sort of scandal, it's not even scandal, like intertwined in people who like were known like abusers and like pedophiles and all of the above is disgusting.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think with the Bill Clinton stuff, I think even if we if I take what's already been said on the news, he has a track record of his indiscretions, but also he's been to Epstein Island over 50 times. Flight logs detail him going there multitude times. I think with him and Donald Trump, I think in comparison with the Clinton and Epstein, their relationship is a lot different. I think Trump and Epstein's relationship was a little bit of like, I knew him. They had conversations in the past, but it was nothing like, I'm going to go to your island all the time. No, I don't think it was anything like that. I think Trump's relationship with him was more of a acquaintance, or like, I knew of him, and I do believe that. I think the Clintons, their relationship was a little bit more ingrained with Epstein. With Prince Andrew, there's photos of him with Epstein and him with an underage girl, so that's already out there. Him being
Pretty
on
sure
the
they had
list
he had a lawsuit that he had to settle too with one of the
for one of the
accusers.
victims.
Yeah.
So, another that surprised me, like you said, you hit the nail on the coffin. Like powerful people, you know, powerful people are going to do disgusting things, and this is all alleged. None of this has been documented. None of this is confirmed yet. But we can say this. This is our opinion. But powerful people do disgusting things. I think people in general do disgusting things. But when you're powerful and you have enough money, you do things to the point of, well, you're never going to be caught. I'm just going to do this, and no one's ever going to catch me. I'm going to be able to get away with it. And I think a lot of these people thought like this was never going to come into fruition. Like this list was going to be something the government was never going to have. Now the government has it. But my question is, what is this list distracting us from? That's the real question, right?
That's a great question. Yeah.
Like this came out in the beginning of the new year, going into leaving 2023 behind, going into the new year. Boom, the list is revealed. So what is this really distracting us from, right? Because every time something big happens, we kind of focus on that, but it's like, what else is still happening? Like Gaza, Palestine. Gaza, Israel still happening. Palestine, Israel still happening. So China trying to invade Taiwan, that's still happening. Ukraine and Russia, that's still happening. What other things are we not seeing or we're not hearing about is still happening? So that's
spending bill just got passed or agreed upon. Spending bill. They agreed on the spending bill. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's another thing. Like these little things, they put out these type of sidetrack type of news. Oh, the Epstein list. Yeah, everybody wanted that to come out. It's out now. But like, okay, what's happening behind doors? Like you just said, they just passed the spending bill. Well, how much money are we spending? How much money are we putting in our defense budget? All these things. Like, what are we purchasing? Where's this money going to? So that's another thing. If you pay taxes, you want to know about. But they kind of keep it on the hush hush because they probably did put it out, but it's not as streamlined as the Epstein list because no one's really focused on that right now. So
it's not making the front page the way it probably should be. It's not getting enough attention or enough airtime as, like you said, this stuff is this irrelevant, mostly kind of irrelevant for the most part stuff. Like,
yeah, and yeah, I mean, I just want to wait and see what's going to happen with it. And I have more on the Epstein list as well. Like when you talked about Clinton when he said he liked them young, Epstein's accuser Joanna Schloberg testified about Clinton, stating he liked young women but didn't detail any wrongdoing. So, meaning you have someone that was probably a victim of him, but is not alleged victim, allegedly saying like he did say he liked young women, but he didn't do anything wrong. Then you have Donald Trump is mentioned in relation to casino visit with Epstein.
Hold on. I got a question, right?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
How do you what does that mean? Because how do those two go in the same sentence together? If you're an adult person and you like them young, but you're also not accused of doing anything wrong, like what is?
Like you could say you like them young. Well, what does liking them young mean? Like if you're 60 years old,
that's my point.
You like them young. You like them what? Younger than you? You like them young, like 18 to 20. Like there's no context. So everybody's assuming that it's underage, but that's not. That's not what's been said here. That says I like them young. Young could be anything. If you're older, if I'm 60 years old, young to me is like, oh, I like them. I like them young. Well, how young you talking? Oh, about like 20, 25, 30. That's young to a 60-year-old, but what's young in this context? Like there's not a lot of context provided as to what young is in that.
Yeah, I don't like that. So, I don't like that because you know the implications.
Yeah, I think that's just something where there's not a lot of context provided. It's just something like, oh, he said he liked them young. Well, okay, what's young? And he'll never admit like to what the age group is, but you're not gonna know because you're not there. He's not on trial for this type of stuff. If I could continue, Alan Dershowitz. If people don't know who Alan Dershowitz was, he was Trump's former attorney. He's accused of sexual relations with a minor. Denies the allegations, having also helped Epstein negotiate a plea deal in 2008. Yeah, and then it just goes on to say about how like people shouldn't tie this into other conspiracy theories like Pizzagate and other conspiracy theories like from QAnon. You know, this is kind of its own thing, and also don't fall into believing everything that's put out by the media because it could be incorrect. So, I mean, that's the Epstein list and the whole of the information that we've received. Now, like I said, I want to preface this again. This is information and stuff that we had January last week. So this detail, this information that we're giving now might be a little late because we're now on like January 10th. So it may be new information that we didn't highlight because the information we have now is a week old. So just to prefix that, it's not the latest, but it's still providing some context. You have anything else on the Epstein list, bro? Anything else you want to share?
I mean, nah, just that, you know, it's eye opening to see, like we already touched on, but you know, it can't be surprising or like shocking in any way. We knew that there was powerful people who was mingling with Epstein, so it's not
Yeah,
it shouldn't rock people. It shouldn't like you mentioned earlier, it shouldn't lull us to sleep with what's actually like important or what's actually,
yeah,
you know, providing real substance or real information to what's happening in today's world. Like all that stuff,
yeah,
even if the information we have that is dated, the information that's put out right now is dated. Like you mentioned, they're not going after any of these people with Ghislane, and I mean they're not saying that they conspired with them in any way, shape, or form. They're not accusing them of nothing at this point. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's just on to the next one.
yeah. And like you said, you made a great point. Like there's nothing saying that they were working with Epstein and them. There's nothing saying that, but I really do believe that, and I really do believe that Epstein orchestrated an island where he had parties, he had get-togethers, and he invited people that were of high influence to come because you got to remember he was a hedge fund guy, so he controlled a lot of money. People came to his island, and he would bring young women there. And this is just my theory. And he would have them in risky search situations and videotape, probably blackmail him, and then that's how he was able to keep his name, keep his way of doing what he wanted to do because he had all these people in his pocket. So that's
Yeah,
just my theory. That's my theory on that.
wouldn't shock me at all.
No, that's my theory on that. But all right.